Floyd Mayweather claims that all the Lin hype is race-based. Here's a tweet from Floyd. Jeremy Lin's a good player, but all the hype is because he's Asian. Black players do what he does every night and don't get the same praise. He took a lot of criticism for that tweet. He followed it up with one trying to perhaps explain it away. I'm speaking my mind on behalf of other NBA players. They are programmed to be politically correct and will be penalized if they speak up. Floyd Mayweather tweets, fair or foul?
I say foul.
What part's foul?
This isn't a story about Jeremy Lin being Asian and he's getting pub because he's Asian. He's getting publicity because he's balling right now. He's got the Knicks leading off First Take, SportsCenter, Linsanity. He's got them winning 5 games in a row. The Knicks are now relevant again. They're a team, now we're trying to talk about them. How good can they be? They found a point guard who's leading them somewhere. They're exciting. They're fun. Again, I don't know if they've ever been fun in my lifetime, but they're fun.
They're relevant again.
They're relevant.
Yeah.
They're a team that you want to look forward to. There's a team where you look at it and you're like, where's he playing tonight? A Knicks-Minnesota game before the season, you would have thought of on a Saturday, I'm doing something else.
Right.
Now it's Lin against Rubio. I'm watching that game. Mike Smith, you got that league pass. I know you were watching that game. You're getting after it. It has nothing to do with race, and Floyd is out of line right now.
No. So here's the thing. I say it's fair. I don't think he's entirely correct, but I think that Lin being Asian has certainly added to the novelty of this. And for better or worse, him being Asian has definitely been a part of this story in the way that
he's saying, though, the hype is because he's Asian, not because he's a good player who happens to be Asian. His words, Jeremy Lin is a good player. All the hype is because he's Asian.
I do not think that we are broadcasting this story. The New York part, of course, is huge in this because of the size of the media market. But I don't think we're broadcasting this in the same way, nor do I think that the Knicks would have jumped as quickly on the PR wagon on this. I mean, it was only after 1 or 2 good games that Linsanity was born. It's before we got to 5 that this was done. It's very difficult for me to believe in the world that we live in that the fact that Jeremy Lin is Asian and the fact that that's not something that we see commonly in the NBA. I think he's the first American-born Taiwanese player in the NBA. That's a part of the story. That's a part of the hype. That's a part of why people push this. To say that it's entirely the case is wrong, but I think it's a little bit lazy to just blast Floyd for what he said. The one thing I will say, though, is if I'm an NBA player, the last person I want is my unsolicited spokesman is Floyd Mayweather.
Okay, you know what, Bo? I'm going to be lazy because I'm going to blast Floyd for what he said. This is stupid. This is plain old stupid. To say it's because he's Asian, the argument is if he were black and doing this or he were white and doing this, there wouldn't be that much hype. Well, if he couldn't play, there wouldn't be that much hype whether he's Asian or not. The fact is 109 points in your first 4 starts. Nobody's done that in NBA history. 20 points and 7 assists a game. Nobody's done that. So this is all I'm saying. You're marginalizing or you're minimizing what this kid is doing when you reduce the conversation to race. For me, the novelty of his ethnicity is all gravy on top of the other things that we're talking about.
But you're also overrating the 109 points in the first X amount of starts because the other guys you put on those lists, that probably
109 points.
At your time, that probably was not just their first 4 starts, but their first 4 games. I think that's a fair point. But as he didn't just show up out of college out here, and that's not to take anything away from what he's accomplished, but what Lin is doing for these games with these 20 points and with 8 assists or whatever it is, no, that's cool, but this is not earth-shattering, oh my gosh, what are we doing? Look at what Russell Westbrook put up to win the Western Conference Player of the Week. Those stats are really comparable to Jeremy Lin's. 28 points, 8 assists, and 6 turnovers. That's a regular.
Russell Westbrook didn't come out of the D-League. Russell Westbrook didn't come off the end of the bench. There's an underdog angle to this.
But there's an underdog angle to this, and you're going to have a hard time telling me that part of him being an underdog does not have to do with the fact that he's a member of an ethnic group that is not normally right. And that's what I said was part of it.
No, that's not what Floyd said.
Right. No. But if we're going to say fair or foul, you have the right to be incorrect in your assertion. What he said was not foul. What he said I did not think was offensive. I did not think it was correct. We can't act like Floyd has absolutely no basis. Like, oh, why are we throwing race into this?
All right, so you don't necessarily buy what he said, but you're not offended by it.
He's got a point.
I'm not offended.
He's got a point. You see, for better or worse, the way Lin being Asian colored the discussion on Twitter. You see it in human interest stories. You see it in the crowd. That is a big part of Linsanity.
It is a big part. Listen, nobody is trying to remove race from the conversation. It's obvious. I mean, but if anything, to me, Floyd Mayweather, one would think, would be celebrating another minority overcoming the odds, overcoming everybody looks at Jeremy Lin or has looked at him and assumed he couldn't play. You're right. Race is a huge part of this, but it's added to, but it wouldn't be a part of it if he couldn't play. If he were a scrub and he got cut, wouldn't be like, oh, Jeremy Lin's the first Asian American player on the end of the Knicks bench. He's playing. That's all we're saying is that Floyd Mayweather's comments, you're much more articulate than Floyd Mayweather. We know that. His comments were stupid.
Yeah.
He's entitled to his opinion, but it was stupid.
But to say stupid is to act as though he just pulled something up that has absolutely no basis.
Wouldn't be the first time.
But this is not without basis. This is not without some measure of merit. So to just dismiss it, I'm not going to do.
But the hype isn't just because he's Asian. The
Right,
hype
I
is because
agree.
he's playing, and that's what Floyd is wrong.
But if you
he was a novelty last season.
But if you want to reduce it to any one thing, we're going to say that
It's
that's
New
wrong.
York.
Right. So if we reduce it to New York, that's wrong also. But ain't nobody about to get all heated about it. The reality is Floyd Mayweather makes his money inflaming people on the basis of race. This is what he's been doing his entire career. This is basically what boxers that are like him have to do in order to make a lot of money. And he's done it again, and he knows that's what he's doing. So when he says, I'm speaking for NBA players, no, he's speaking as a guy that knows how to inflame people and get it going.
But he's not alone.
But I'm not going to sit here and pretend as though there's nothing to it. So to just say it's foul, I don't think it was hurtful. I don't think it was ridiculous.
No, I think you're taking foul a little too literally. Not saying foul like, oh my goodness, how dare he say this. It's not like he's the only person saying this. It's just, you talk about lazy. It's lazy to say the height is because he's Asian.
Right.
It ignores what he's done.
Lazy for anybody to make it binary, but I'm not going to be binary in return to Floyd Mayweather and then be like, now we're even.
See, now you're using too many big words on me.
No, but I mean,
I don't know what they mean.
but when you step up, but when you step up and say, oh no, this is not right, this is this is that, this is everything else, I think Floyd was way out of line.
I
think Floyd was wrong, and you get to be wrong. Y'all are going to be wrong.
How do you see it as out of line? What part of it was out of line
or
for you?
You just make the blanket statement that that Lin, the hype is only because he's Asian. The hype is because he's playing for the Knicks in New York, a big media market. The fact that he's Asian is a nice story, but I think that's probably in the middle of the pack.
It's gravy.
I think it helps out.
It's gravy.
He played for his home team last year in Golden State. That might have been a novelty, but afterwards, to stay in the NBA, you still have to ball, and that's what he's doing. He's opening up lines for the Taiwanese, the Chinese-American community to come in and enjoy him. Embrace that.
But hold on. But you're all discounting the first thing that Floyd Mayweather said, which was Jeremy Lin is good. So we're not. Let's not say he's talking about Jeremy Lin.
Yeah,
like
but
he can't play ball.
that's as much as saying, look, it's not about the money, but.
I mean,
isn't it?
He's probably mad.
Into that disclaimer.
Is it?
He's probably mad because
bottom line?
Pacquiao said Lin was good.
Is he? I mean, I say now we're starting to reach, and now we can take the words he said. Jeremy Lin is good. I agree. Now he went too far in saying I think the extent of what being Asian has to do with the hype.
That's all I'm saying.
Right. But if all you're saying is it ain't just one thing, well, everybody knows it's not just one thing.
But if you're going to reduce it to one, it's going to be the underdog factor. And in fact, this is unprecedented. Whether
Well, one other angle to the story, guys, it's not just that he's having individual success, because we talk about his numbers and that nobody else. Let's just look at the facts here. The Knicks were woeful underachievers. They, in their first 22 games, won 8 times. This is a team with 2 superstars. They go out, now they've won 5 of 5. So it's not just individual success. He has taken an underachieving team with 2 superstars, and in their absence, led them to 5 straight wins. Nobody expected that.
Yeah, he's good.
Nobody.
Watch your tone and help me with this.